One. June's laying right there, so I have to put it here, which seems to be fine too. We are in a new book in the Bible, yes, and I'm excited. We'll see for how long. All right, all right, all right. There's one more thing that came to my mind in Psalms on how, especially David, Solomon too, on how it was just so much about themselves. Yes? On how God needed to relieve their suffering, and he needed to show them mercy, but not mercy to their enemies, this and that. And that's okay. But the one thing that to me this morning again came to my mind is all the children in the world that are suffering. Where's the mercy of God there? I mean, shouldn't that, if one wants to pray for anything, mercy, please take care of them. Please send someone something good towards these children who are abused, abused, just in the most horrific ways, and neglected all. Right? Yes? Isn't that where, if we believe, if we want to believe that God can change something about all our stuff that we're doing wrong, then how about directing our prayers, our hymns and our songs towards that? Yes? Will it make a difference? Because again, why are these children not taken care of? Why are these children abused and used and I don't know what? Huh? Neglected. Oh, because of what? Because God's not taking care of them? Or, yeah, okay, just saying. So again, in the Psalms, what I find is, and it's sure at David's time, at Solomon's time, at Saul's time, at whoever king's time there, at that time, it was no different. Yes? How often do they talk about, oh, I am, or you are, or you should, God, take care of the orphans and the widows. You. Just saying. But really, when it comes down to it, what are the people doing at that time? Or again, the higher ups. Yes? And then when things go bad for them, it's like, oh, Lord, please, you're the king. I'm not the king, but you're the king of kings, the Lord of lords. Yes? Yeah. Just saying. So disappointed on how, if they really would have been, even the prophets, under the guidance of God, what do you do first and foremost? You make sure that the little ones, you make sure that the less fortunate, per se, you make sure that the ones that can't defend themselves, per se, yes, you step in as an adult and you do it. Yes? Yeah, I'm just saying. That's why. One thing I've found in Psalms, how selfish these Psalms are when it comes down to it. Yes? How selfish. Yeah? Directed, in my opinion, completely in the wrong way. Wrong path. Wrong direction. Yes? Okay. Others may see it different. I have to accept that too. Yeah? But that's how I see it. All right. The book of Proverbs. So, if we believe that God has such power or would interfere in our lives, which he will not, because we have the freedom to choose. We have freedom of will, and he will never take that away from us. That's just one of those things. Then, but if, surely the first thing he would do, she would do, our heavenly parent would do, is do what? Be a good parent. To first and foremost, our little ones, our children, are being abused and neglected and left on the side of the road to rot. Yes? Okay. But he can't even do that because that's not God's responsibility. Okay, it's ours. So we're in the book of Proverbs, and it starts out with a prologue. The core of this collection of wise sayings is the two collections of Proverbs attributed to Solomon. That's the king. I'm going to say that right from the beginning. So, whatever he has to say is probably not going to strike a core in my heart a whole lot. Okay? He had, 300 wives and 700 concubines, and who knows how many kids. Were they all taken care of? What did I start out with? Okay, so, wise? Are you a wise person to have 1,000 women under your care? That's not going to work. Just saying. That's just asking. Just saying. So, but again, let's just see. Okay. But again, who decided that Solomon was wise? Okay, all right. Words. It's all words. It's just words in here, right? Yes, it's all words. Where are the actions? Do the actions reflect the words? Let's go find out. They are succinct, witty, and pungent reflections on life. They fit well with the origins of such collections of wise sayings, advice given to those who wanted to get on at court. Oh, higher ups again. In Israel, Solomon was responsible for the development of the court. I went for what? And himself had the reputation of unrivaled wisdom. The vast majority of the sayings show no particular connection with religion or faith. Oh, then why are they in here? Being purely a matter of deep good sense. But every now and then they reveal a belief that all wisdom comes from Yahweh. They reflect a sharp, competitive, cynical, secular society where compassion too has its place. To this central core are added various supplements. There are 4 little collections at the end, appendices which speak for themselves. But the 2 most important are sections 3 and 1. Section 3 is founded on the very ancient Egyptian wisdom of Amenemophis, written down circa 1000 BC, but already then ancient, which shows how Israel learned from the neighboring cultures. Section 1 is the latest part of the book, probably post-exilic. It is an invitation to acquire wisdom acquired by faith in Yahweh, which reaches its climax in wisdom's own self-description. At 8:22. Okay. What's this forward here doing right now? Yes, well, first of all, okay, it is letting us know, hey, the Israelites did learn from their neighboring cultures. Learn what exactly? Because as far as I know, that's just been a problem. But here, it's, how is it? Okay, where's that wisdom again? Okay. All right. It's all right. It's okay. Proverbs, let's get started. Title and purpose of the book. 1. And then it goes into the prologue. Okay. The Proverbs of Solomon, son of David, king of Israel. For learning what wisdom and discipline are, for understanding words of deep meaning, for acquiring a disciplined insight. Uprightness, justice, and fair dealing, for teaching sound judgment to the simple, and knowledge and reflection to the young. Well, that already sets kind of a hierarchy there, right? Okay, all right, just saying. For perceiving the meaning of proverbs and obscure sayings, the sayings of the sages and the riddles. Let the wise listen and learn yet more, and the person of discernment will acquire the art of guidance. The fear of Yahweh is the beginning of knowledge. Fools spurn wisdom and discipline. Wow, interesting. I mean, you know what? All I can say is number one, right away, you want to be brainwashed? You got it. Okay, prologue. Commendation, this is part of one. Commendation of wisdom. The sage speaks, avoid bad company. Listen, my child, to your father's instruction. Do not reject your mother's teaching. They will be a crown of grace for your head, a circlet for your neck. My child, if sinners try to seduce you, do not go with them. If they say, come with us, let us lie in ambush to shed blood. If we plan an ambush for the innocent without provocation, we can swallow them alive like Sheol. And whole like those who sink into oblivion. We shall find treasures of every sort. We shall find our houses with plunder. Throw in your lot with us, one purse between us all. My child, do not follow them in their way. Keep your steps out of their path. For their feet hasten to evil, they are quick to shed blood. For the net is spread in vain, if any winged creature can see it. It is for their own blood such people lie in wait. Their ambush is against their own selves. Such are the paths of all who seek dishonest gain, which robs of their lives all who take it for their own. That's a pretty big mouthful right there. And again, now if I would have come across just that part and didn't read already all of this, I'd say, this is God's guidance to make sure. Parents, why are we parents? We're supposed to love our children more than anyone. Okay, except for God. Well, that has to come also through us, right? Yes. So they knew once again the knowledge is there. The knowledge is there. But the execution, is the execution there? What did it start out with? On how there is this ancient Egyptian wisdom. Okay, what? So the Egyptians were better parents than the Israelites? Okay, just saying. There's all this kind of stuff that comes up. And I have to say again, sounds to me they knew if they knew this, if they stay away from. You have parents who love you. They know they have the best in mind for you. They've gone through life already. They're at a certain age. They can teach you, probably better than anyone else. When it comes to, for example, math. Yes, I know how difficult it is in this time even to make sure that your children follow your guidance and not suddenly someone else's out there. That is very well described here. On how, again, misery loves company, number one. Yes, and as a mob, you get way more destruction done than by yourself. Yes, it's true, isn't it? All right. Anyway, so wisdom again. So I read all this here. Now I'm reading this and going, do as I say, not as I do, kind of thing. All right. Wisdom speaks, a warning to the heedless. Now it sounds to me like also because of the prologue, the first part that we read there, that God's doesn't have a whole lot to do with this. Sounds like, right? Yes. So God's reputation may not be on the line here. It is really more directed towards our own behavior, but that's a good thing to talk about. Yes. Okay. Wisdom speaks, a warning to the heedless. Wisdom calls aloud in the streets. She raises her voice in the public squares. She calls out the street corners. She delivers her message at the city gates. You simple people, how much longer will you cling to your simple ways? How much longer will mockers revel in their mocking and fools go on hating knowledge? Pay attention to my warning. To you I will pour out my heart and tell you what I have to say. Since I have called and you have refused me, since I have beckoned and no one has taken notice, since you have ignored all my advice and rejected all my warnings, I, for my part, shall laugh at your distress. I shall jeer when terror befalls you. When terror befalls you like a storm, when your distress arrives like a whirlwind, when ordeal and anguish bear down on you. That's wisdom? Sounds more like a continuation of the Psalms. Wisdom never revels in terror or abuse of any kind. Wisdom does not do that. At least not the wisdom that I have acquired. The wisdom I have acquired sheds tears over the ignorance of others when it is blatantly done out of unwillingness to learn. Yes? Yeah. Many other things. But, yeah, well, have I thought, well, I told you so. But have I jeered? I told you so. I would not do that. Anyone that still does that finds pleasure in a learning experience of someone else that's gone kind of wrong and astray. These two out here. That's not wisdom. That's gloating. No. Okay. Just saying. Then they will call me, but I shall not answer. They will look eagerly for me and will not find me. They have hated knowledge. They have not chosen the fear of Yahweh. They have taken no notice of my advice. God is in here. They have spurned all my warnings. So they will have to eat the fruits of their own ways of life and choke themselves with their own scheming. For the errors of the simple lead to their death. The complacency of fools works their own ruin. But whoever listens to me may live secure, will have quiet, fearing no mischance. That's a lie. You can live and still things will happen in one's life. Okay. Really? And that's wisdom talking? Obviously, it's some kind of a prophet. Oh, Solomon. It's Solomon. What I find disturbing here is that then they will call me, but I shall not answer. They will look eagerly for me and will not find me. I think that sometimes people have to go a very difficult path, yes, and then find back. And there is always people ready to help, yes. They're there. That's where God comes in, sends people to help out, even if it is just with an encouraging word. Well, maybe you need to change your life. Maybe you need to do something different. Yes? And then it's, again, the person has free will. Yes? Freedom of will. Freedom to choose. To make a change or not. And again, most of us who are trying to really teach out there, you're helpless. We're the ones helpless. We're helpless and well, if you come again, what have I said before? When people do come to you, be ready. Right? Yes, be ready. Be ready to guide. Be ready to teach. And hopefully the people will be at a point to learn, to accept. Yes? Okay. That's how I see it. Oh, and that's the end of one. So we're already at the end. It looks like these are kind of longer chapters. Maybe if I come across shorter ones, we'll do it. But it doesn't look like they're pretty long. Let's see how many there are. I've been getting a cold. So I went to take care of my other two, and my son-in-law was sick. And I went, oh no, stay away from me. But I may have. Oh, it's not that long. The Proverbs are not that long, guys. Let's see. 31. There's only 31. Well, I thought it was going to be another big, long book of Psalms. Huh. So, we got a whole lot of lamenting going on and asking God for help, making sure he kills all of the enemies. And then Proverbs, the book of wisdom, kind of. I thought there was actually a book of wisdom. It's very short. Yep, here it is. There is a book of wisdom. Anyway. But the Proverbs are short, very short. Okay. So be it. Anywho, it's a short book, looks like, but interesting. I probably will have a whole lot to say to it all. Again, this was written a long time ago, and it seems as if, again, the knowledge was there. So the wisdom was there, right? Than the higher ups. But they're making it all the fault of the simple people when things go wrong. Just saying. I have found that, again, one can look at it one way or the other on what do you consider simple? What do you consider educated? Yes? I have found some amazing wisdom in people who, according to some, may be considered simple, didn't go to college, don't have any degrees, did very little schooling, do know how to read and write. But even if they didn't, I still feel that, and the way that they look at life and the work that they have put into their own life and their family's life and their life in their surroundings is incredible. And through that, the wisdom that comes from people like that is incredible and worth way more often than, okay, what are you trying, without trying to get you to brainwash you into something, or well, that is it, and that they're rather just learnings of life, what they've learned through life, and they're able to articulate it really well. And then that's the person who hears it and acknowledges it and yes, receives it, learns, truly learns wisdom. Yes, and guidance. That's good guidance. Yeah. Anyway, so yeah, every time I hear it, I've met also many very learned people that you think that, oh man, they got to know a lot of stuff. And yeah, they do. But it's all stuff that doesn't interest me. What am I going to do with that? And unless I walk exactly in their path, then I can't acquire that. I can't get there. I can't get to where they are. So that is that. Yes. And sadly, often they're very haughty. I'm just saying. So I've learned way more from people that one would consider simple. Yes, what does that actually mean? Yes, and learned not all that much from people who are educated. Now, that's not to say, I know that people have put in, again, people have put in a lot of work and studying this net into many different subjects when it comes to learning. Go Google something, you find some answer. But I've also learned that if you do not just go with the first answer, but you kind of dig a little deeper, that the consensus about many different things isn't there. Yes, for example, mushrooms. I've met someone personally that said that there is not one mushroom out there that's actually really poisonous. You just need to know how to prep it. Right? I'm going, yeah, I'm not going to eat a fly agarus. Or another, I'm not going to take that chance. Right? And then there is, the other experiences do not eat mushrooms at all, unless you get them from the store. I'm kind of in the middle where I'm going, yeah, unless you are 100% just about certain that mushroom is edible, I wouldn't touch it. Okay. Even though now I've probably passed up food. But yeah, do I want to take the chance that my liver and my kidneys are going to be eaten up by poison? No. So, and though I've taken the chance, again, right, in a minute, I've taken the chance. I think that's edible. Pretty sure that I would eat it first. I would not feed it to my family. And there is some taste tests. There's spore tests. They're not that hard to do. But mushrooms is one of those things where the ones mushroom hunting go, you can eat just about any mushroom. And then there's others, no, there's just a few. And what I found too is that the prep of mushrooms is very, very important. And they need to be cooked really well. To eat raw mushrooms is not a good idea. Though others say, oh, no, you can eat mushrooms raw. It's okay. Okay. I went out one time. It was a homeschooling trip. And again, we had this friend, Shen, with us. And who is a guide who knew a lot about everything. And we found like shiitake mushrooms. I know, they're supposed to be, they grew there where we went. And they're big. They're really big. And he said, now we were just going to roast them over the fire. He said, make sure that they are all the way done. Okay? They have to be at least cooked for so long. They have to be all the way done before you eat them. He told us that. I knew very little about mushrooms at that time. I was in my 20s. And I was so hungry. The smell of I love mushrooms. And I ate mine a little too soon. Shiitake mushrooms, they're edible mushrooms. There's no problems with them, okay? And I got sick. I got sick. Yeah. You don't want to know how I got sick. And that was a good lesson for me. I never ate uncooked mushrooms or halfway cooked mushrooms again. So I got into the mushrooms just to show you on what a difference of opinion there is out there about something for us to eat. The other thing too, as I got deeper into learning about mushrooms, I found that the roots of the mushrooms are like the nervous system of the soil, which is really interesting to read on how that is all explained and how someone who probably loves mushrooms wanted to know more about mushrooms and studied mushrooms and found that connection with the soil, the trees, any organism, and the roots of mushrooms. Yes? Yeah. So, hence, again, mushrooms are really, really important for the health of our forests and all around. Yes. They're also, I think, they act like a cleanser as well. Besides on how their nervous system works, they're also working like a cleanser. And people spray all this stuff, and when mushrooms start to come up, that means that your lawn or your surroundings start to become healthier again. Yes? Oh, just saying. Anyway, interesting? Yeah, someone did all that studying out there. And then it became available for others to read. Anyway, so, and what am I going to do with that knowledge? Well, it teaches me on how to take care of what? The ground I live on as well. Yes? And, kind of be more connected on how that energy all flows, not just above ground, but below ground. Yes? Yeah. Ants? Okay, ants. I have to bring that one up because that just came to my mind. Ants is another one. Oh, people just try every which way not to have ants. First of all, ants are not, what are they going to do to you? Nothing really, unless you get into some fire ants or something. But that usually happens outside, not in the house. I went and read up. Okay, what am I going to do with all them ants going through my house? I said, just let them go. Make sure that you have nothing laying around, which I made sure not a crumb of sugar or nothing was laying around. Yes. And they just travel through. Ants migrate. Did you know that? They migrate through your house. Your house is just in the way, but they're not. They don't come to stay, and it's true. After I started doing that, it took a few years, and suddenly the ants didn't go through my house anymore. That's Now if I have people there that are leaving stuff out again, they have scouts out. Right? Where's there some food to be had? But the way I kept my home, my kitchen, ants were not interested anymore. Hey, there's a food source, so we're going to travel through there, right? But they migrate. They 2-3 weeks and they're gone. Yes, okay. If you do your part about it. But ants are amazing. People are all worried about bees, this and that, right? About pollinating and all that jazz, right? But ants do the same thing, by the way. They do exactly the same thing. They transport seeds, this, that, all under the ground again. Yes, yeah. So, I mean, do I like to have ants in my flower pot? Well, if I had ants in a flower pot, I'd just take it outside. They don't like to be moved. And overwintering, I guess they do overwinter, right? Yeah, okay. I take it outside and I just leave. Yeah. Suddenly my flower pot had no ants in it anymore. I didn't have to put anything in it. I didn't have to put poison in or nothing. Again, all right. Ants are great little creatures and they have a great purpose. And if we learn what that purpose is and what they're doing naturally, then we can adjust ourselves to their path and don't have to hurt one or be all frustrated, get poisoned to get rid of them. Right? Yes? Okay, just saying. So, anyway, so there's great knowledge out there. And I have no doubt that if I were to meet these people, they'd be very simple, considered simple people who know about one thing, amazing things. Yes? No, I'm just saying. All right, that's it. That's all I have to share this morning. Oh, a new book. Yes. Oh. I was very lazy yesterday. It was great. My back feels great. My legs feel great. My feet feel great. My hands feel great. Okay. All right, that's it. May Heavenly Parent bless and protect you, guide you, and embrace you with love. And I will talk to you another time.